Hey everyone, it's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery. Today we are talking about a very special topic that you might want to get in on, which is 3 overwhelm dissolving tips that I want to give you if you are starting your baking business right now. I know it can be hectic. You might not know what to focus on. So I want to give you 3 things to look at before you ever start coming up with recipes, selling stuff, baking stuff. These are 3 like super important, super beginning steps that I want to cover with you today. Now let me double check that we are good. Okay, perfect. I can see comments. If you have any comments, let me know. You can throw up your hashtag replay so that I know that you've seen this content on replay, if that's how you're viewing it. Again, I'm Melissa Fryer. I am the CEO, the main mentor at Build a Better Bakery. And our mission at Build a Better Bakery is to make baking business simple for you. So business isn't going to be easy all the time, and I'm not going to sell it to you like it is because it's not. But you can make it simple if you have step-by-step accessible information from people who actually care about you and offer genuine support. So that's what we do here in this, this group and in our programs and on our website and on our YouTube and all of the other places that we are situated to help support you wherever it feels best for you. We have 3 military spouses on our team right now, and we consistently mentor bakers all over the world to envision, start, and manage their businesses, to create more joy and make sure that they're actually having a good time while being profitable and running their business, because that can be a hard balance. So we like to help with that. Now, today's topic, as I mentioned, is going to help you with overwhelm. It's going to be kind of a simple 1, 2, 3 approach to help dissolve the those feelings of not understanding what's going on, not understanding what you need to look at as you're thinking about situating and launching your baking business. Now, these steps are going to be really important for people who've never started a business before and have never really thought about this. It's going to help clarify the first few things that you can look at. And the way I have this set up is that you can use the next few days to break out these little steps or things to look at in about 30-minute chunks, so that in under a week and under just a couple hours, you will be able to complete this short startup series and get started. Okay, as I mentioned, this is something I want you to look at before you start formulating recipes or selling on the side, because these things you're going to need to know before you start doing any of that. Now throw up your hashtag live if you're here live, just like Anita. Good to see Ross too. Good to see you here. Hoping you're having a good day so far. If you want to stay in the know about these events, you can check the events section in the group. You can send me a friend request on the platform. I can then invite you to these via just the invite system on the platform. You can hang out in our email list for replay links. And we also send other resources through that. And you can sign up on the website, or I can send you the link. All right, so we're going to hop right in. I don't want to take up too much of your precious day, so let's jump in. The number 1 thing that I want you to start with, if you are feeling just completely overwhelmed and not sure what to do, is I want you to help yourself clear your brain. So in this very first step, it's just going to be brainstorming, kind of a brain dump to relieve that stress of all of this stuff flying around in your head all of the time. Kind of a brain release, if you will. So I want you to choose a notebook, which you're going to need for the next few steps, or maybe a sketch pad or a clear space, a clear area where you can just get all of your ideas out on paper. There is no judgment in this step. You cannot do this wrong. There's no requirements to what you're writing down. You just want to get everything out, all those thoughts, all those ideas, anything that you've been thinking about that's swirling around. We just want to get it down on paper. And these may be things that have been in your head for days, weeks, or even years. So we're just trying to give your brain a break and just kind of see what we're working with. Now, when I do this, I will say that I've created multiple businesses over the years. I do this exact same process every time. And I also do this process every time we move. And since we're military, we move every 2 to 4 years. I have to do this again every single time I move. So I'm pretty, I've got this system down, I guess. And this is how I like to approach business building. Now, when you're doing this brainstorm step, I want you to categorize each area so that when you're looking at this on day 2, it's not as confusing as it would be if you hadn't categorized. So if you can, just make some sort of like, large name list or an area where you're kind of writing notes about certain things. let's say this part's branding ideas, this part's your name ideas, this part's your product category ideas, and just try to kind of keep it separate in that way if you can. So what I would like you to do with step 1 is to give yourself 2 sessions of 30 minutes each to complete this little first part of the brainstorming section. I want you to schedule 1 session today. Literally find a time when you have 30 minutes today. So later tonight, after lunch, while you're eating your lunch, whatever it is, pick 30 minutes and start this brainstorming session. Tomorrow, I want you to also go ahead and schedule in another 30-minute session. Okay, so just 2 30 minutes, 1 today, 1 tomorrow. The first session is your big brain dump. So you're just going to write everything down, try to categorize some if you can. Then I want you to walk away from it after 30 minutes, just completely stop. Try not to focus on it too much because that can make the overwhelm worse. So just kind of get it out of your brain, walk away, go to sleep, wake up the next day, come to your second session of 30 minutes. And I want you to take this 30 minutes to cross out any ideas that you're reading them now and you're thinking, that's not what I want to focus on, or I've changed my mind, or that shouldn't, I don't want to spend time on that right now. Cross those off. Anything that you don't love, cross it off, and then add any extra ideas that kind of popped up over the evening and that next day to your brainstorm list. Hey, Kelsey, good to see you. #live. Okay, so that's step 1, brainstorming in 2 sessions, writing it all down, refining it. Okay, day 1, day 2. Step 2 is checking out your local laws. The reason I'm bringing this up so early is because often bakers forget to check the laws around them. And surprisingly, if you've never looked at something like cottage laws or state laws for selling any products, you might be surprised that there are some states that are extremely regulated. It could determine your selling opportunities, when and how you sell. It could affect the locations in which you can work. It can affect the certain products that you sell. It can affect the sales tax or any fees that you're trying to collect in your pricing and in your, that could also affect the kind of threshold of pricing depending on what you're trying to sell. It could affect any seller fees that you're going to have to work with within your state or your location that you're going to be charged for even owning a business or trying to open one. It even sometimes limits the amount that you can sell if you're trying to work from home, and much more. So again, every location is completely different. And that's why I want you to, on day 3, take a 30-minute session, write it down right now. Day 3, 30 minutes at this time. I'm going to go review the state laws or the location laws for selling baked products, or baking business sale laws, whichever search term brings up the information for you. Often you can just use Google or something similar and find a link to these laws by typing your state name and cottage baking laws, or your location name and cottage baking laws, if you're going to work from home. If you're going commercial, search commercial bakery laws in the state or location, and often you'll be linked to an entity that you'll be working with closely as you run this business, such as the local health department, a small business association, whoever it is. You'll often see their information being shared after you search for that in your area. So day 1, brainstorm. Day 2, clean it up. Day 3, look into the laws right away so you know the limitations to what you're trying to do before anything else. You don't want to have built your whole business and your whole menu and then realize you cannot sell any of it in your state, right? So we got to do this one first. Take those notes, have a dedicated notebook that you can come back to and keep this information all in one place. Hey, Sarah, #live, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, number 3, I want you to look around you before you are going to be heavily bogged down in concentrating on the specifics. So right now we're in our notebook, we're scribbling away, we're thinking about all of these things that we're going to do. But I want you to take a moment in the first 3 steps to look around at your environment. This one, again, is going to be 2 30-minute sessions that you're going to schedule on day 4 and day 5. And it's going to essentially, you're going to be investigating. You're going to be looking at different resources. I would suggest just starting online because it's going to be easier for you to use that 30 minutes well, rather than trying to go out and do it in real time. So for this specific setup, I would suggest 2 online sessions, 30 minutes, day 4, day 5. And the reason we're doing this is because no one runs a business in a vacuum. We're all related to and being surrounded by and influenced by other businesses and other issues and situations in our area. So we need to know what's going on. Okay, so day 4, you're going to schedule a 30-minute session to do online research. Focus specifically, try not to go down a rabbit hole. Focus specifically on local businesses that you may consider competitive to what you have in mind. That can be a really vague open option. That can be a very small specific niche. Not sure what you're focusing on, but I want you to look at competitive businesses first. Take notes, check their websites, check their social, write down things about them. You know, who's their audience, what do they sell, what's some of their price points, when are they open, etc. Where are they located, that kind of thing. Okay. Try not to take offense. Try not to feel like you don't have a space in the world, because you do. There will always be a competitive business around. That's okay. And that actually tells you that there's opportunity for sales for those kinds of products in your area. One red flag here is if you start researching and you don't see anybody doing what you're doing, it's possible there's a reason for that, and that those laws and the things that you looked at before might be a telling reason why there aren't any baking businesses around. So if there aren't any, I'm going to give you a bonus step in step 4 that I want to talk to you about that, because we need to look into that. You're saying no baking businesses anywhere could be a red flag. Okay. Day 5, you're going to schedule, again, I want you to try to schedule all these today. I don't care when you start this, but if you do it in 5 days straight, you will get it done and you will be done. If you take a bunch of breaks in between, you might not ever finish this. So try to just schedule the 30 minutes every 5 days for 5 days straight. On the fifth day, I want you to do online research about a different group, which is complementary businesses. So the first one was who you might consider competition. And the second is the complementary businesses, the ones that you may be able to work with or partner with or promote with. And a way to figure out where to kind of start looking is to think about the people that you hope to sell to or that you think will buy your products. Look for the services that those clients would also be using. So party venues, wedding venues, party stores, catering services, event centers, salons, anything where those clients are going to already be there, but they aren't in direct competition with you. I want you to also take notes on these locations and their contact information so that if and when you are ready to launch, you can start making B2B, business to business connections right away. Okay. As you're doing this, I also want you to look at, so you're looking at complementary businesses in which you can kind of do a catapult jump into your community. I also want you to look at selling options. Just do a quick search. Are there any markets you can attend, events coming up, things like that? Simple, like a holiday event, something going on somewhat soon, right? Just to give you an idea of like what's around me, how can I branch my business quickly? I want you to note the timelines of any of those events or markets and pricing for those opportunities, which may or may not determine if you can take part right away. As I mentioned before, number 2, the laws are going to regulate how and when you might be able to partner with any of these entities or any of these events. That has to happen first before you try doing this. So always do it in the order in which I'm suggesting so you don't get caught up trying to sign up for an event that you can't actually attend. Like in some states, you can't sell in certain places if you work from home. So you would need to know that before you sign up for an event, right? Okay. Let me know if you have any questions about these. Hey, Jessica, good to see you. Because what we're talking about right now, again, is the very, very first steps that I want you to focus on before anything else. No recipes, no selling, no menus, no websites. These 3 things have to happen before any of that. And I wanted to give you a number 4 bonus step today, which is going to take it up a notch It's going to clarify for you even further, and it's going to offer a super supportive hand in this process. Again, the whole point is to dissolve the overwhelm around what you're trying to do. So I want to be a part of that, and I would like to help if you're interested in sitting with me for a few minutes to go over what you've done in those 3 steps, and then figure out what's the next step after that, because it's going to be different for everyone depending on what you're doing. So the moment you finish step 3, I would suggest setting up your complimentary 20-minute session with me, either via Zoom or phone, so we can chat about what you found and then pinpoint that very next thing that you can focus on. Each baker can sign up for one of these free sessions. I have other opportunities. I do offer these free complimentary strategy sessions, but I like to limit it to just 1 per person, or else all I'm going to be doing is sitting on the computer talking to people over and over again. So I definitely will offer that one to you if you haven't used your spot yet. It's open and available. You can ask me for the link. I will send it over. You can see what's open and sign up for one once you've gotten through step 3, or at least most of the way through, so we have something to consider as we're talking about the very next step that you can focus on. We need all that info before we can decide. Okay. Hey, Megs, good to see you. Okay, so those are the 3 steps to look at. We want to definitely make sure that we're starting with brainstorming and brain dump, or it's going to be really hard for you to focus on anything else. So get all the information out, simplify it in day 2, check your local laws in day 3, and then 4 and 5, look at competition and look at complementary businesses and any kind of selling opportunities in your local area. Just take some notes down so you know where to get started when it's time to start. Now, if you could use more in-depth assistance discovering even more clarity around your calendar and your baking schedule through the rest of 2022, which is going to start getting crazy because we're about to head into the holiday season, we're going to be hosting a special guided challenge. It's a 3-day challenge inside the Elite Mentorship Program around mid-September, around mid-month. And that's for our elite members. And I'm going to come in and basically hold your hand and we're going to do 3 short videos and a little challenge together to get you situated for September through December with your planning and the clarity around how you're going to focus on the next few months of this year so that you can end strong. The challenge is built to help you grow your business planning skills. If maybe that's not a strong skill for you yet, we're going to work on that. We're going to create that solid roadmap for you so you have something by mid-September to take you through the rest of the year. Your holiday season more than likely will be less hectic because you've done the work early. The steps of the challenge will help you with time management. I know that's a big issue with some people figuring out time management. We're going to break it down and again, start with step 1 and move forward. Project choice, we can talk about, this or that, maybe some options that you're thinking about, which would be more profitable, more time management friendly. And then of course, protecting your personal time, because bakers are known for getting burnt out because we serve and serve and serve, and sometimes we forget about our own lives. So that's also going to be a portion of what we talk about during this challenge. Now, when you join the elites to take part in the challenge, if you've never been inside of our program before, you'll also have access to the tools that help our top performing bakers do things like increase revenue by 300%, start their businesses from scratch and get orders within 24 hours, hire new employees, open storefronts, and just gain more joy and understanding in their business to lower their overwhelm on a daily basis. That's what we like to focus on. Okay, so if you want to get in there, I can also send you the link so you can check out the tiers of membership, decide which one sounds best. Some options are just monthly, so you can stay in for a little while, or you can stay long-term, whatever feels good for you. Again, we're just here to help serve you in the way that feels best for you. Okay. I'm not hearing any questions about these 3 steps. So go ahead and put them down in the comments if you have any questions about getting started, or maybe you're moving through the steps and you have a question as you go along the way. Post it here so we can chat about it. And then once you get through step 3, I want you to set up your 20-minute call so we can talk about exactly what happened and where to send you next. Okay. I'm so honored, honestly, to be able to connect with you via our call or here in the group. So definitely hang out if you're wanting to get some help with your business. and reach out whenever you feel like you have a question or you want more information about certain topics surrounding starting up or scaling up or whatever, whatever step you're on with your particular business. Okay, that's it for me today. I am going to finish my huge shopping list for my big baking day tomorrow. So I'm going to go do that. And I will see you all in the group, and I will see you in the comments. Send me a message if you want a link to set up your complimentary 20-minute call, or if you want a link to look at the program that I was talking about, the Elite program. I can just send you info so you can check that out on your own, what's going on with it, and see if it works for you. All right, bye.